good evening, everyone, once again. And it's our fourth and final day. And how many we are? Actually, it's good to see so many people, the faces which I have seen on the day one and which I am seeing on the day, I mean, on the session four, though. It's really great to see that, you are keeping that consistency with that. I mean, it shows your hunger to learn, and that shows your dedication as well. And today we have with us our treasurer, CA Ashna as well, because I'm not going to take long time. I just straight away want to start the session. So I request our treasurer, CA Ashna, also to share her thoughts on the session. And over to you, Ashna.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, very good evening. Yes, it's a lot of learning that is going on these days, but it is for the members. So unless the members feel a drive to attend it, it's like the more the participation, we have 3,000 member database, but if we see the participation, I don't understand why it is dropping. We have tried everything right from online learning to see that it is done after office hours. All that we need for the speaker to be encouraged is people coming and joining online and attending these events so that more of these online sessions can be held. This was earlier a focus group, now it is in physical events is to happen there. But just because of the members feedback, constant feedback for the last 2 years, now we took an initiative to convert it to online. But again, it will all depend on the members how to drive this and how much to learn from it. So I leave it to the members, and we all are one word from each one of y'all can definitely encourage someone else, because these sessions, if you go to do outside, it's very expensive, and the speaker itself is such that he charges generally on other platform, but because he's a member, he's been kind enough, we are giving this free for our members. So please take the maximum benefit of it. This is the fourth session, and I would really like to thank Dikshit, who is our ex-com, who took this initiative along with the speaker Mahendra Khiani. Today is the fourth day of the consecutive session, and all I can say is all the best. Keep learning and keep spreading the word, that so that the speakers as well as the committee gets a little motivation to do a little more. So over to you,
Thank you
honorable
so much,
speaker.
Ashna, for your words. And you said it right, like I mean, a one sentence or a feedback from the each members will really help to the other members. And now, without further ado, I will jump to the our speaker, Mahendra Kiani. But before that, I just want to acknowledge his partner. Yesterday, he was with the Siddesh Pawar, but I think he is not today. But yes, the Bhavya is there. So thank you, Bhavya and Mahendra Bhai, once again for having these sessions for the members. You are always there to contribute for the fraternity. So without taking time, let's begin the session. Over to you, Mahendra Bhai.
Thank you so much, Amit Bhai, Ashna, and Dikshit and the entire executive committee team for this opportunity. So happy to be back here again and finish what we started in our Power BI journey. So, a very quick introduction. My name is Mahendra. I'm a director with KPMG and I lead the digital GRCS practice. And always pleasure to be back at ICI. I have my colleague also with me, Bhavya. And so the thing is, when I'm doing the activity or when we are going through the hands-on learning, in case you have doubts, you can put it on the chat window, and she would be answering, and I would also be periodically looking at the chat and answering, but she would be there in case I'm doing certain transformation. So she would be there. So you would be supported continuously. So, without further ado, I'll share my screen and we would potentially start off with where we left. Okay. So, so this is the Power BI file from yesterday. So I know some of you may not be have been able to follow the instructions, and some of you may be joining for the first time. So what we have done is in the chat window as well as in the WhatsApp group, there was a Google Drive link shared, which has all the files that you would need. In that, there was a Power BI file named ICA 21st May workshop. Okay, I would request you to open that file, and we have used two Excel sheet, which I'll tell you on how to make the connections. But I will wait for few seconds. Has everybody downloaded the files from the link shared? I'm just sharing the chat window once again. Just requesting all of you to download the link, and if you could confirm that you have downloaded the links and the latest Power BI file. Okay. Now, once you have done that, I know for the people who are joining for the fourth time, it will for the fourth time it will be a repeat of the step, but I'll still do that, and because some of you may be joining for the first time on how to make the connections. Okay, so there are two Excel sheets and a Power BI file. So once you have downloaded the Power BI file, you need to go to files. Then step 2 is options and settings. Step 3 is data source setting. You would have received two Excel sheets, sales report and target file. You can save it somewhere in your system, and over here you can update the location. So for example, for the target file, you click over here on the link, do change source, and browse it and put it where you have saved that particular file. Same would go for the sales report. Okay. Uh, Everybody clear on this? Sujit, we'll continue on the tooltip. Don't worry. We'll continue on the tooltip. But let's first everybody get access to the file. Okay, so everybody has now access to the file and are able to use this file. Okay, perfect. So before we start off the transformation, I would go to some of the slides and set down today's objective before we move to the next step. Okay. Uh, so this was our agenda for the 4-day session. Okay. And I had said at the beginning that these are the things we need to master. One was extraction and transformation. On the first day, we did a lot of it. The second was modeling. Yesterday's session focused a lot on modeling. Okay. Then there are calculations or measures using DAX language. We learned a lot of DAX language on the second day of the sessions. And today's session would use all three elements, some of it, and we would focus a lot on visualization. And in the end, I'll show how to distribute these Power BI files. Okay. And in after we finish all the practical information, last 5 minutes, I'll give you some very good closing remarks. So I will request to hold on to that today's session till all the way end. Okay. Now we would move back and continue with our journey. Everybody was able to link the files, right? One last time I will repeat how to connect. So this was the Power BI file which has been shared in today's Google Drive link. You just need to click on File, Options and Settings, Step 2, Step 3, Data Source Settings, and then at the target file, you just change source, you save the Excel sheet in the Google Drive link, which is target file and sales report, and then connect this. So target file and then the sales report file. Okay. So I presume everybody has now access to this. RK, are you, Mr. Ramesh, are you using the new file? So if you are using the same file, did you change the data source?
Your password.
I'm sharing the Google Drive link again. You need to change the data source. No, the files are, you can use the yesterday's file also, Srinivas, in case you have yesterday's Power BI file. This is more for people who have missed certain part and or who are joining today for the first time. Okay. Shall I repeat the steps for how to? Yeah, you can continue, Neela, on the yesterday one. Have you closed the file, Vinaya? Or should I? Okay, I'll repeat one more time. You have to download three files from the Google Drive link that I've shared. The Power BI file, which says ICI 21st Way Workshop, the sales report, and the third file is the target. Open the Power BI file, go to Files, go to Option and Settings, go to Data Source Setting, and then the new saved file, just replace them or change the source. So I'll click on Sales Report, I'll click on Change Source, and wherever you have saved that file, just link it. Same thing I'll do for Target and done. Vinay, you have the yesterday's file. If you have yesterday's file, you can use that also. Okay. So now moving on to the most important thing. So we spoke about these key pillars, and today, like I said, we are going to focus on visualization, and there are certain key or core principles of data visualization. Uh, It's pretty simple. We'll not spend more time on theory. Rather, we would the first three classes will focus more on actual doing things. So, certain basic principles of any dashboard design is that you need to know what you are, what is your objective, what does success looks like, what do you want to communicate, and who is going to review it, and basis which your entire data storytelling has to happen. And what does data storytelling mean? I can explain you by one simple example. If you have to explain what does your dashboard represents, you have failed. It has to be a self-explanatory dashboard. Then keeping the layout as simple as possible rather than cluttering it, and choosing or the right themes, and then presenting insights which are actionables. An example of, you are looking at this dashboard, what can you make out of it? Is it a good, well-defined dashboard, or you believe this could have been better? What do you guys think? Could have been better because it is very cluttered. There is no information. Okay. So this is what primarily means. And how do you declutter? I'll show you some of the tools that you can use to declutter it. Like for me, these are some of the things which we use for slides design. Most of the background is designed through slides. There is Slides Carnival, there is Slides X, Slides Go. For videos, you can use Pexels. Canva is another very good tool. And some of the icons that I've been using on this are downloaded from Iconset. Most of these tools are free and they have paid version also, but they have free designs for most, and you can utilize those free designs for most of the part. Okay. So now coming back to where we stopped yesterday. So I'll go back to the dashboard. You would remember we had completed this tooltip. Okay. And now if I look at the reference design, this was our reference design. We want our tooltip to be something like this, where I click on or I hover on any of the month and I'm able to see the entire information. What was the gross sales for that month? What was the discount? What was the net sales? What was the gross margin? A smart tooltip. Okay. Now, how we are going to do that? We have designed the tooltip. Now we need to put it in our page. over here in this particular dashboard. Okay. So I'll tell you right now, the tooltip over here is sales versus target. Okay. Now I can go to properties. Over here. Let me click on this. Wait. Okay, so there is a tooltip option you will find. I think you find it under general, you will find, yeah, in general. Okay. You click on this particular visual, okay, and then go to tooltips, and then you can do it as report page. And over here in the page type, you select the name. I have named it as tooltip. You may have changed the name or may not have changed the name. My page name where I've saved the tooltip is tooltip. Okay. Now I just need to click on the visual where I want this tooltip to appear. Okay. And then go to format your visual, go to general section. Under that, you will find tooltip. Type should be report page, and over here I will select tooltip. Okay. And then what happens? See, I click on it, it shows me gross sales for the month was this much, average discount was 7%. The target achieved was 169%. I can go to any month. If I go to, let's say, June, it gives me June sales, what was the average discount percentage, what was the net sales for the month, and compared to target sales, and also what was the gross margin for that particular month. Okay, so everybody was able to follow this step. Okay, some of you were not able to follow it, so I'll repeat. Some of you want me to repeat. Okay, so this particular visual, okay, this is a reference design which we are trying to build. Okay, and this particular visual, we need to add tooltip, a smart tooltip. So what I'll do, I'll click on this visual. Okay, and then on the right hand side, visualization pane opens. I'll click on format your visual. Okay. Under format your visual, there are two options. There is visual and there is general. I'll click on general, and then there is an option for tooltips. I'm clicking on tooltips, and this type has to be report page, and the page based on which the tooltip is to be selected, I have selected tooltip because the page name I have kept as tooltip. If your page name was page 4, here you can select page 4 or whatever the name is. Okay, and then you would see you have this dynamic tooltip that is ready to be used. We had created this tooltip or created this dynamic visual yesterday. We're able to follow now this time. Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay. So this is the tooltip thing which I wanted to complete. Now we'll talk about better visualization. Okay. So why was I talking about the slides? And if you look at the today's files that are going to be used, I'll open it on my screen. See, these are the items that you have received. You have received certain SVG files. SVG files are basically your what do you call it? It's like GIF
ખર્ચા
files.
તારે નીચે લઈ લેવાના ને આપણો ન હોય ને આ 27,250 આપણો ન હોય ને
I think somebody needs to mute their mic. Yeah. So these SVG files are something like GIF files, which means I've created a design in PowerPoint presentation and then have uploaded it. I'll give you an example of this design. Let me show you. You would have already downloaded these designs. So there are slides background. Let me show you the summary screen slide background. Okay. So this is how the summary screen slide background is looking like. There is sales overview. So I have designed this entire thing in PowerPoint so that because Power BI will not allow you to make such fancy design. You can actually build it in PowerPoint and then upload it as a slide background. Okay. Uh, and that's what we are going to do for this particular summary screen. We have to build we have to build a dashboard like this. Okay. So I will upload this design, and how I can do that? I'll go to the page. I've clicked outside. None of the visuals are clicked. Okay. Then I'll click on format your report page. I'll go to canvas background. I'll browse the image wherever I've saved. Okay, so I've saved the image over here and the name of this file is summary screen. I'll select that and I will ask it to do either I can say normal fit or fill. I can say fill, okay, and keep the transparency at 0%. Okay, you were able to follow this? Yeah, I'll repeat, Shishagri. So what you need to do is we have created these slide designs in the PowerPoint and I have converted it into SVG file. SVG is like PNG or a GIF file only. SVG means scalable vector graphics. The advantage of SVG file format is that the quality of the background is very good. Okay, so you can remember this whenever you want to convert something into GIF or something, especially for Power BI backgrounds. You can actually convert it to SVG file because the pixel will not break. Okay. Then what I did, I wanted to update this picture. So I'll not click on any visual. I'll click outside, then go on the second button, which is your format your report page. Then I'll go to canvas background and then in the images, I'll select the image. I've selected the image summary screen. These files would have received already through the download link. I'll select this file. I've done a normal, I can do a fill fit and transparency kept at 0. And then your screen should be ready and visible. Clear? Everybody was able to follow? Okay, perfect. Now see, we have to reach this kind of a dashboard. Let me first close this. 1 second. Let me close this file. Okay, we have to reach this kind of a dashboard, right? So what we can do is, let me show you a few things on how to format them, and then I'll show you a shortcut also. First, let me put it over here. Now this target sales visual, we don't really need target sales. On the page one, we had calculated all these visuals. Okay, so I'll select control and select these visuals. Okay, I did control and clicked on all of them. Then I'll do control C and bring all these visuals on my page. So I've got all the 4 visuals. Okay, from page one, I just did control C and control V. Okay, have you all got these cards from the first page? Yeah. I'll still wait for a few seconds because I want everybody to follow. Okay, so now since you all have got these cards, let us start off with formatting one. So this is gross sales. Okay, gross sales is already written over here. So I don't want this to be repeated. Okay, so what I can do is I clicked on gross sales. I went here. I don't want the category label to appear. Okay, I removed the category label. Okay, it became 1.98 million. I can call the call out value. It appears too big. I can make the size of it, let's say, to 25. Okay. I'll make it a little smaller. And then I don't want this black color background as well. Okay. So how can I adjust the background? On the first day, you would remember we had done the themes. Okay. We had used the themes. Instead of formatting each and every page, what you can do is if you go to the view, you can select a theme. I want a light colored theme. Let's say I select this third, accessible three, theme number 3. It automatically changed the colors of it. Okay. And then it became much easy for me. And you can change the theme accordingly. Okay. And if I want the size also to be the same, it also has a format printer. I can put the format printer on the second one and the size goes down and I can just copy paste it. Okay. You were able to do this activities. The background disappeared. Yeah, Neela, background, good question. So what you can do it is that in that case, the transparency would have gone to 100%. Okay, so if the background has disappeared, this is what you need to do. Okay, click outside. None of the visuals should have been selected. You have to click outside, go to the format page, go back to canvas background. Make sure transparency is still 0. If I do transparency 100, see, for me also background will disappear. Make sure this transparency is 0. And then you should be able to see your background back again. Are you able to do that? Yeah, everybody is able to see their background now? Okay, perfect. Okay. Now we had formatted couple of them. You just click on it again, format printer, put it on this, the size reduced. Okay. I bring it over here. Then I'll do the format printer again, put it on gross margin also. I will bring it over here again. Okay, and then here also I have to format. Now, is there a better way of doing it? Is there a better way of doing this? This visual was supposed to be on the top, so I will bring this up on the top. And why I say that is there a better way of doing it is because you would realize I'll have to format literally everything. Okay. So now, now there is, I'll show you resizing of the boxes. Satya, this is how I was doing the resizing. I just clicked on a box. Okay. Went over here, went to call out value and reduce the size. Okay. And then one I formatted, then after that I used format printer and then applied it on the next one. Okay. But there is a better way of doing it actually. So even after using some standard formatting theme, we can customize our theme so we don't have to resize everything across our dashboard. And how do we do that? Again, you will have to go to view, okay, go to themes, and there is an option which says customize current theme. Okay, everybody is here at customize current theme because then we can do it all together. Everybody was able to reach to customize current theme. Okay, perfect. Now, if I click on customize current theme, you can literally decide on the color code. So you can decide color codes, which would be the primary, secondary, tertiary color. Okay. If you go to advanced, you can decide what would be the color of first level elements. You can decide the text size. Okay. I can select the font color to be, let's say, around blue. Okay. If I want this particular blue, I can select that. Okay. And I can copy paste, so I don't have to format the color every time. So I've selected the font color to be this. I copied it. For the title also, I can say, okay, I want the same font color. I can paste it over here. So I don't have to format each and everything. Cards 45 size is too big. Why should I change every time? I feel 20 size is fine. The color should be same as what every other text is, which I selected over here. Same goes for tab headers. I want headers to be sized as 12 is fine, but the colors to be the same. So I'll just copy paste the color, and then I can check on the visual also background. Do I want a black background or a white background? I don't want any background. Okay. So I can choose that. Or the page. I can choose the page transparency to be 0. I can choose the page transparency to be 100. If I do it over here 0, you would see that earlier what happened when transparency was 100, our background was not appearing. Every time we had to manually do that. We can remove that requirement. Similarly, filter pane, I can choose which color I want for the filter panes, for the font colors within the filters. Everywhere I can change the colors. And then once I've done all the changes, I can just do a apply. And you would see everything is formatted. Literally everything is formatted in the way I would have wanted. All the pages would get formatted the same way. Okay. Clear how we customize the theme? Okay, perfect. So now we learned a little on customizing the themes. If you look at the tooltip, it looks nice, but it does not call out the values well. Okay, so we need to do a little bit formatting. So I'll go back to the tooltip. I want these numbers, like I want this number. Okay, I have picked up the from this measure, from the gross sales measure, right? This particular number. I want it to be not to be like I want it to be in the single decimal. So I can select it in the single decimal. Okay. I can make this part as bold so that call out is very clear. Like what, let's say I can make gross sales as bold. Okay. I can make this particular number as bold. Similarly, 10.89% as bold. I'll reduce the number of decimals for this visual also, which was net sales. So I'll go to net sales, and over here I can format, reduce the size through the measure, make that one as bold. Target sales also I can make this part as bold. Like I want target sales to be bold, this part to be bold, and this was target sale. So if I go to click on the target sale measure, I can make it a single decimal, and percentage achieved against target to be bold. This gross margin part to be bold, and this part to be bold. Okay. Okay. Can the tooltip be in a table format where it compares the numbers against the previous month? Yeah, you can put any visual over here. You can put any visual over here, Vishwanath. I showed you because the reason I use this kind of tooltip was, see, over here it is already showing month-wise data. Okay. So there was no point of having another table. I wanted something to give more information. Like if management is looking at net sales, they should know what is the average discount. They should know whether we achieved the target or not. They should know what is our gross margin. So you can decide what you want to build it. You can build anything in that tooltip tab. Okay, so this is how we formatted the tooltip, and it looks better. Now, moving on to the next part, let's look at this visual. So we have built it. We have completed this also, the sales versus target detail. So we can update our dashboard. Over here, we have completed this as well. You can format it further, like any formatting, you can just click on it and you will have multiple format options. Okay. Like say, for example, for the row headers, I can make the row headers as bold. Okay. Or I can make the column headers as bold, like this. So you can decide how you want to format, and this is, you just need to click on it and explore all the formatting options that are available with you. And this would give you a good context. Another thing I wanted to show you in this was, see, if you look at this reference one, there is a very good Gauss chart which shows that what was my target versus what is the actual achievement. Okay. This is a very interesting visual, and I want all of you to learn this visual. So we'll learn how to build this visual. Okay. So let us move ahead. I'll just check if there are any questions so far. It should be shown as red color. Sorry, gross margin is negative, then it should show as red color over there. Sorry, I did not get your question. Like it is, we can add conditional formatting. You can, like we said, you can create a table, okay, and add conditional formatting over there, and it would show all those options. I'll give you an example over here. Like I clicked on this particular visual, right? And if in sales and target, if I go down, if I go to conditional formatting, I can say font color also. We had used icons, but we can use font color, and you can create such a table over here in the tooltip, and it would show you in whatever way you want. This was just one representation, but obviously you can be as creative as you want. Okay.
Yeah. What I meant actually, see in your left hand side we have gross sales and discount and net sales, right? And gross
Yeah.
margin percentage. So there is just a fixed color, right? So is there anywhere we do a formatting, condition formatting there?
So this is a tooltip, right? On this one, see, what we did was we added a value. Okay. This was a text box. Now, in the text box, you can't really add a conditional format. If you create a table over here, it would have been possible. Okay. But in a text box, I'm just able to see, click a value. Okay. And add a dynamic value against the same. Okay. But it would be very difficult to add a code in the text box over here unless we are creating within this text box another text box, and over there is a DAX code written where it says, okay, when it is negative, you add, it would make it basically negative. So that is possible, but that would be a very complicated manipulation, but that is possible. Okay, if I add a text box inside a text box where this number appears, and if I write the DAX code over there.
Okay. I thought actually, is there any standard way?
No,
Is it possible?
it's not a standard functionality, because like we are using dynamic, or these are called as smart slice, smart narratives. So it is just picking the values from there.
Okay.
Hi, Mahendra. I think if you had a doubt regarding the card font color change also, like I think Prabhu Kumar was mentioning about mainly about that, like the card
Sorry,
Yeah,
font
the
color.
card. I
Yeah,
mean, we're using the
card's
card, right?
font color, conditional format, call out value.
sorry. Over here, you want the negative
Yeah,
to appear.
right.
So
Yeah.
again, see, a card would give you the precise numbers. Here, if I go over here, see, okay, you don't have an option for conditional formatting. That option
Yes.
is available in the tables. Okay. Is it possible the same logic applies what I said on the tooltip? Okay. So you
Hmm.
can write a code over here. You can write a DAX language which would say if this particular number is, let's say, okay, let's say gross sales only. If this gross sales is above the target, it would show a green symbol just like over here. If this number is below the target, it would show a red symbol. Okay, but that's a DAX code. And to external users, it would appear okay, it is moving against this, but in the card, there is no standard functionality of conditional formatting. You will have to add that additional text box where your DAX code is there, which would move up and down accordingly.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I'll show you guys that in a different dashboard on how this looks like. But okay, I'll show it quickly, but we'll stick back to the main content. Otherwise, we'll miss a lot on this part. But let me show you. Since a lot of you have asked, I'll show what I mean. Give me a second. Let me stop sharing. See, I'll show you an example. Now, let me share my screen back again. Okay, like over here. So now this is a text box, and if you look at it, what is there? There is a code that has been written, which says, okay, if it is 0, show this symbol. It is, if there is no value, this would appear. Okay. So if I make the changes over here, okay, you would see whenever it became negative, it is showing as a red symbol. Okay, it appears like it is connected to each other, but if you see, there is a different text box where we have written this particular code. Understood? This is how it is done.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Did it make sense?
Yeah, it still makes sense because some of the users might immediately, want to see if it is something gross margin negative. They
Yeah,
was to
yeah.
highlight as a red, so that impresses. I mean, they could easily visualize
Yeah,
that, right? That's what I meant.
so it is possible, but it is not a standard feature of the card, is what I was trying to tell you. Okay, see, this is appearing as minus 52.2, but if you see, there is a different visual that we have added over here.
Yeah, got
Uh,
it. Got it. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Yeah. We can try to do that something. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay, let us go back to the planned activity. Okay. Okay, so we were over here, right? So let me show you the reference point again. So we wanted this Gauss chart. We want to build this Gauss chart which compares our sales versus target because it looks like a very good visual. So how do you select that? If you go on your right hand side in the visualization tab, there is something called as Gauss, which is appearing like the fourth line, fourth item. Okay. And if I click on it, sorry, where did my Gauss go? if I click on it, yeah, here, I'll bring it over here. It gives me certain options. It says that what is the value it should pick up from. So let's say I want net sales to be the value of the gauze. Okay, net sales is close to 1.8 million. Oh my God, here the gauze got selected. Let me convert it back to cart. Okay, so net sales is the value of the gauze I want it to appear. And this is also appears as a wrong number. This is gross margin. Let me get it fixed. It should be net sales.
Actually, that is gross margin.
And gross margin should be gross margin percentage. And I'll reduce it to single number. Okay. Yeah. So here in this Gauss chart, I want the value to be the net sales. And I want the target value to be my sales target. Okay. So I'll select my sales target. Put it over here, you would see that sales target is lower because we actually overachieved. Our sales target was close to 1 point, as you can see, our sales target was 1.74 million, wherein we have overachieved. So that's why you would see that sales target is behind the actual net sales. Okay. But I find that this number to be very high, the 3.5. I want it to be little close. So how I can do it? I can add the max value also. To do that, I can simply create a new measure which says that max value. I can decide max value to be just like, let's say, 1.2 times my target sales. Okay. So I will created a formula of max value and then I can add the maximum value over here and then you can see automatically the max value got selected. I can continue formatting like I don't want the let's say in general the title to appear. Title appears very uh, big. Okay. I don't want the header icon to appear. So it gives me a sense compared to where I am. Yeah, I can better format this, but this is how it looks like. Very simple chart to make, but a very interesting one. Okay, so any questions on this, or shall we move on to the next part? Because next I want to, uh, yeah, maximum value is this one.
Can you
So
please repeat?
yeah, I'll repeat. So this chart was over here. So this was the Gauss chart. Okay, there are few fields. Value, I've selected the actual value as which is 1.8 million as net sales. It gives me target. What should be have been the target? So this is target, which is 1.7 million. Okay. If I don't add max, see it is by default making it 2 times the target. So I'm not able to see it very well, right? This appears, the filled area appears very less. So I wanted the filled area to be more. So what I did was I created a measure which says maximum value for my Gauss chart should be just 1.2 times of my target sales. And then I use that measure to add it over here. So what I did was I just used this measure and dropped it to my max value. So see now it is 2.1 million, which is 1.2 times my target. 1.73 into 1.2 you will do and you will get 2.1. So that's what I did. Okay. Was this clear this time?
Yes.
Yeah, how to remove header, Ramesh? You just click on it. Then I went to format visuals. I went to general and I did the title as off. So for each visual, after you click on it, you will find a lot of options. And then it's like formatting in, I would say, Excel or PowerPoint. That's how we can do that. Okay. Fine. Now I want to show you something very important and very interesting as well. If you look at this reference cover page, see it's a moving cover page, right? if you look at this reference cover page, it's a very nice looking moving cover page. How can you create these kind of cover pages? But because it makes it very interesting. Okay, so I will show you the way for it. Okay, there is a question. Okay. I'll show you the way for it. So how we do it is, I was talking about these design resources, right? One of the design resources is pixels. Okay. Now I'll go to my internet and I'll open this site called as Pixels. There are a lot of free videos that are available over here. I can search for financial analysis video, or and I had chosen this particular video, let's say, for example, okay. I like this video. How does it play? And I want this video to be there on my cover screen. I just need to download a video. I'll download a video. Okay. I downloaded this video, and then what I can do is I can create an open a new PowerPoint. I can import this particular video that I downloaded over here. Okay. So I can just import the video. From this device. I saved it. It would be there in my downloads. So I just selected that video. Put it on the whole page. And then I can just do it as save as. Uh, I can just do save as animated GIF file. There is a format called as animated GIF file. Okay, I can name it XYZ. And once I've saved it as animated GIF file, I can just create a new page. Let's say this is my cover page. I can name it as a cover page. And over here in this cover page, again, I have to go to format page and import this particular video. I had saved one in your files. I've saved one in the files that have been saved, which calls as landing page. I can import this landing page over here, which is already converted to a GIF file. And like I just need to do the transparency as 0, make the image fit as fill, and see your screen is ready. I will, were you able to follow this one? So select a video, go to PowerPoint, save it in the PowerPoint, and do save as animated GIF file. Okay, so I'll repeat that step. What you need to do just is file, save as, okay, a animated GIF file, this option, animated GIF format. And then you would be able to uh, build a very strong landing page. Everybody was able to follow this? Okay. Okay, perfect. So now what I've done is in our dashboard, I've added this animated GIF file. I'll just insert a small button as well for the report. No, I do not want this shape. I rather wanted this shape. And I can name it as like view report or something. I can add a text box and say, just I don't even need a text box. I can just go to shape, title, and I can call it as, no, not. I think, yeah, this is where it is, Bhavya, right? In the shape style.
In shape, in style or fill, I think fill.
So
Text
here,
is there. Yeah,
here,
text is
the
there.
text is there here. Okay. You can just go to shape, and then within that there is text, and it is called as, we can call it as view report or something. This is one way, or another way of doing it is also you can actually add a text button, or you can add a button as well. Okay. Where you can just add a button, a blank button, and add the report name, because eventually you would want somebody to click on this report to go inside. Okay. So I can choose a blank button, let's say. Okay. Uh, and then I can use this blank button. So if anybody clicks on this blank button, I want it to go to a specific page. Okay. And that page can be, let's say in our case, it was page number 3. Okay. So if somebody clicks on this page, we'll reach the page number 3, or we can rename it as the summary screen. So that's how report entry screen is made. I went a little fast, so I'll go back and see if there are any questions. Okay, once the GIF file is ready, how do we bring it to the Power BI file? So just go to the cover page, okay, or go to any page, create a new page. Don't click anywhere. Go to format page, go to canvas background, and then just you can add insert the page over here, make it fill transparency as 0. This is how you would build a moving cover page. Okay. Any other questions on this? And then what I did was I added this view report thing, and then there is, for making it like somebody clicking on it and you going to a different page. For that, what you need to do is there are buttons. Okay. Since there was already colors and everything available, I used a blank button. Okay. And once I got the blank button, I went to actions. I said, what should it do when somebody clicks on this button? It should navigate to a page. And which page it should go? It should go to the summary screen page. So when now I click on this button, it takes me to the summary page. And similarly, I can create a button over here for it to go back. Let's say I want a button for it to go to the next page, or let's say to go back. Let's say I wanted a button to go to the next page. So I created this button. I'll add the button over here on top, and I can create an action. And this action is basically, I can ask it to go to page navigation, and this can go to page number, let's say 1, which is the next page. So if I click on this button, it goes to the next page. So this is how we use buttons to navigate in the dashboard. Are we clear? Cover you had selected may have been different. I mean, I have added in case you don't have animated GIF option, I have added basically in the download option, there is a landing page. So if I go to the files that have been shared, just use this particular page, this landing page .gif, and import it. You should still be able to do the task. Okay, you guys want me to repeat which part? For that, Ramesh, you will have to add something. So what we did was we added a visual over here. So you add a text box where I've written view report. You add a shape to it, and it would work. So add buttons is simple. So you have to go to buttons. Okay, let me show you like in summary screen. Okay. I can add a button. I can go to button, and whenever somebody clicks on that button, I want it to go to the cover page, let's assume. Okay. So I'll select a button for that, which is, let's say, uh, the main page. Let's say I picked up on the information, this button I chose. Okay. So somebody clicks on this button, it should go to my home page. So I selected the button. Then in that button, you have to go to actions. Okay.
What?
Okay. And then in this actions, I am saying page navigation. And in the page navigation, I'm saying cover page.
Right.
Okay. And then if you click on it,
Go.
it will go to the main page.
Okay, I'll bring it.
I think somebody has unmuted them. Yeah. If it is going to I control click instead of click on the button. No, just click on control plus click, and wherever you have done the navigation, it will take you to that navigation. Like I'll show you one more time. So this information button, go to actions, activate actions, then in the type select page navigation and select the destination, which means where you want when somebody clicks on that particular button, where you want it to go. So for example, for this, I want it to go to home page. This button, I wanted somebody to go on the next page. So I'll click on control plus I'll click on click and it will take me to that page. So don't worry, this is a Power BI desktop which is used for designing. So over here, you would have to click control and the right click. But when it gets published, when it's available with the users, they just click on it. They don't need to do a control plus click. Okay. So this is how it works. Okay. So we have spoken about cover page. We have spoken about the summary screen. We have completed the summary screen. We need to learn more and more of the analysis. So segmentation analysis, we had spoken about it in the first session. I'll just quickly cover it again. Let me go to create a page. Anyways, this is so you can create a new page or go to page 2, name it as segmentation analysis. So what does segmentation analysis means? Okay, so for example, if I want to know why is my gross margin higher or lower? If I use this particular chart and say, okay, tell me the reason why my gross margin was lower, it can it can do analysis on your entire data and say your gross margin was lower because your June you sold at a 27%. If you want to know what happened wrong in June, okay, I can again click on the plus symbol. Sorry. And say, okay, why was my June performance lower? It would say that because you sold these two products at an exponential loss. If I want to know why and whom did I sell it to? So it says that, okay, these are the two territories where this loss was there. I can go to the root cause till the end. So that I know, like, so you don't have to do a financial analysis. It's a very good inbuilt AI feature, and we'll learn how to do that. Okay. So let me give you an example how to do this. Let me delete this and start from beginning. So in the insert section, okay, you have to go to insert. There is an option called as decomposition tree. Okay. I click on decomposition tree and then it gives you an option to say analyze what and explain by what, which means like I want to know why my gross margin is higher or lower. You can do it at any level. You can do it at net sales level, but businesses typically operate on profit. So I'll choose, let's say, gross margin, and I want to know why it is higher or lower. Let's say, for example, some of the parameters which can impact the gross margin are, am I selling any product or a category of product at a loss? So I can say explain by category name, or within that category of products, is it any particular product I'm selling at a loss? Or let's say, for example, is there any state where I'm not making adequate profit, or is there any customer, okay? Or was there any particular month uh, during which I was not, let's say, doing well? So I can do that as well. And then if I go over here, I can ask it why it was lower, or if I want to just see the performance. Let's say I want to see category wise performance. I can get my category wise performance, how it is. Okay. Or if I want to see if my gross margin is not doing well, I can just click on it and ask it why it is not doing well. It can identify the reason. So it's a very good tool to have in your Power BI dashboard. And so I'll wait in case you have any questions on this, or you were able to follow this particular tool, the segmentation analysis. Okay. So this is how to change decomposition after choosing the first one. It's very simple, Ramesh. So after, let's say you chose the first one, I don't want to see June. I want to see July. So I'll go to July. And I want to see July not by the lowest value, but I want to see by product value. So it gives you option. It's a very click and play. Okay, so it's a plug and play kind of a visual, very amazing visual. And users, the end users are able to actually use it. So very powerful, very interesting user. So like you saw within this, if I want to see, okay, state-wise, am I making losses somewhere, I can choose state-wise. So you can literally plug and play, and you can add any amount of variables that you want to do it over here. Okay. Yeah, obviously, Shivani, like everything, that's why we spent the entire yesterday on modeling. This would work when it can read through the data or the data is connected. So that's why before we start the analysis, we did the transformation layer and also the data modeling. So data modeling is the key. Okay, so this was it. I mean, how to update the background, it's simple. I'll not repeat it. Rather, we need to learn more concepts. But simple, you can just choose the background for the segmentation screen. And again, you can do the normal fit, keep the transparency nil, and then your dashboard is ready. I'll I'll move. I mean, we have learned this part on how to change the colors, and also I'll not go into that, but rather I'll move to couple of more interesting concepts that we need to cover, which is these. Okay, so if you look at our analysis, there is a Ask Me Anything bot. Okay, where I can, just like your boss asks, like, who is my, let's say your boss asks, which is my bigger customer? Okay, so I can ask it like, what is my top customer by net sales, let's say. Okay, and it can give you, okay, this is my top customer. So it's a bot which works on your data and answers your questions. So it's again a very interesting feature to have. So we'll learn how to build this chatbot within your Power BI dashboard. So what I'll do, I'll create a new page. So I'll click on a new page. I will import. I have already formatted and kept the background ready. So I'll import the AMA bot screen. I will make the transparency as 0, make it to fit. Okay. Let me know once you have imported and are ready so we can start creating the bot. Has everybody reached this stage? Okay, perfect. Okay, first, how did you like the bot? What do you think? How complicated it would be to build this bot? Would we be able to build the bot today? Since it is a bot, it should be easy. How much time uh, it you think it should take? It will actually take few seconds. Okay, so this is how we'll build the bot. Okay, so bot is a built-in feature actually. We just have to spend the time in designing. Under insert, there is something called as Q&A. Okay, I'll hold my screen on this one. So if you read, okay, ask questions about your data in natural language to create new visuals. Okay, so there is a built-in visual actually, which where you can interact with your data in natural language. Natural language is like in English we are speaking, and then it answers. So I'll just click on Q&A. Okay, and your bot is ready. This is your bot. I just clicked on Q&A, and your bot is ready, and you can ask any question. Okay, top customer by, but you have to be very careful in typing. It's not as good as ChatGPT, though there are options on net sales, so it answers the question. So easy peasy. Everybody was able to build their own chatbot. Yeah. Okay, so we learned creating chatbot. Now there are two more very interesting things. One of them is a time-consuming one, and uh, one of them may not take so much time. So I'll show you what those two things are, and then you guys tell me which one we should start first because uh, it would. So I'll show you first what the easy one is. So let's say if I go to summary table, okay, most of the times you want to, so it gives me total sales, but I want to see the detailed information. Like finance people are always about numbers, right? So let's say if this number is appearing 612, I want to see what the breakdown is. So I can right click on it, I can drill through, and I can get a detailed sales report, which gives me transaction level data. Okay, that is one option. Similarly, I can go over here, or I can even go over here. Uh, let's say any of the names, and I can get the detailed transaction level data. That is one thing. The another interesting thing is, let's say if I want to know if I give discount of 10% and my gross sales would increase by 9%, how would my revised net sales look like and how would my overall performance look like? This is a simulation ability, or it kind of a predictive ability where you can simulate those factors. Now, this particular analysis is going to take us time. The first one is going to take us less time. So, which one you would want me to start off with? So you guys tell me which one you want me to start off with. Okay, the simulator. Okay, so be mindful. Simulator takes quite a bit of time, so we may or may not be able to do that drill through thing, but it is not a very big deal. We'll put the steps for it, but we'll go with simulator. Okay, so let's get started. I will now not take any questions which are not relating to the current work. Otherwise, we'll miss the simulator in between, and it is something very good. Okay. So I'll just change the name of this page as the bot. And then I'm adding a new page. Okay. And we'll start off with importing so that we are able to create the exact thing. I'll go to Canvas background and I will select the simulation analysis page. I've done the transparency as 0 and I will do a normal, let's say fit or fill, whatever. Okay, so I have just added it, and if I look at my reference dashboard, I wanted a gross sale simulation and discount, and then actuals on one side and simulated values to appear on other side. Okay, so I have the actuals, so I will create the card for it, or I can just pick what we need, the gross sales card, right? In summary, we already had the gross sales, so I'll copy this card and bring it over here, so I don't have to format it. Okay, I actually have to format it. I want the background to go away. This is the background. Yeah, and under effects, you can just switch off the background. Okay. Let me know once you are here, and then we move forward. As in file import? Import background. Yeah, just import background. Don't import a file. I just went to a new page. I went to the new page, visualization, canvas background, and just imported the image, which read as simulation analysis. Okay. Can you show the background change again? Okay, I'll show you one more time. Just click outside. Okay, go to format page, go to canvas background. Okay, browse. I had already shared the images and select the segmentation screen. Okay, once you have selected the segmentation screen, okay, what went? Yeah, select the segmentation screen. Oh, sorry, not the segmentation screen, my bad. Select the simulation screen. This is the simulation analysis screen. Make the image fit as fit fill anything and make the transparency as 0. Okay, and you would be able to do that. And then after that, what I've done is I've got gross sales. I created a simple card and added gross sales over here. Okay, everybody reached this stage? Can I move forward now? Yeah. Okay, so what else we need? We need the discount percentage also. So I'll do Control C, Control V for it. And instead of gross sale, I need the discount percentage. So I'll select the discount percentage. I need the net sale. So I'll again do Control C, Control V for that card. I'll remove the discount percentage. I'll select the net sales. I'll do Control C, Control V. Next is I need the gross margin. Okay, so I selected the gross margin percentage. Sorry, gross margin percentage is down. Then I need the gross margin value. So I'll select the gross margin value for this one. Increase the size. Okay, so I've got now all the actuals. And now I need to build the simulation one. I'll wait over here for you guys to complete these actuals. Just keep on adding the cards with these actuals. I'll wait for potentially 10-15 seconds more before we start the main magic. Okay, are we ready? Yeah, we are ready. Okay. Okay, now hear me out very clearly. So now this simulation measure is available under the modeling tab. So if I go to modeling, okay, sorry, where did it go? Yeah, if I go to modeling, on the top fourth modeling tab, there is something called as new parameter. Okay. in modeling, there is something called as new parameter. When I click on new parameter, I can say numeric range. Okay, I'll click on numeric range. First, I will call the name of the parameter as, let's say, gross sales simulation. Let's first create the first one. Then how I want it to vary? I want it to vary in the form of a decimal numbers, because like we are gross sales increase, we are doing by percentages, right? So we can use it percentage. And what can be the minimum or what can be the minimum or maximum dip our gross sales can go up to? Your gross sales can decline by 100%, but it can't decline by more than 100%, right? So I'll say minimum value as 1, okay? And maximum, it can go up to any max, like your gross sales can increase by 100%, 200%, 300%. So I'll keep it at 3, okay? Uh, but to make it more, because the more you make the spreads, it would be difficult to manage the slicer. So I'll say, okay, gross sales can decline by, let's say, only 50% in our model. So I'll say minus 0.5, and increase of the gross sales can maximum happen up to 100%. So I'll say max 1, and then variation would be at 0.1% level, which is 0.01. So minimum 0.5, which is 50%, maximum 100% increase 1, and increment at 0.01. So this is what and parameters I'll set for our simulator. Okay, so repeating again, I went to modeling, I went to new parameters, I have changed the name as gross sales simulation, I've changed the data type as decimal number, and then I've set minimum, maximum, increment value, and default value to be at 0, like basically no change. Clear on this one? Has everybody been able to follow this? Shall I move forward and click on create? Okay. So now the moment I create this, see, I have this particular tab already created, and then I have gross sales simulation also. So I'll not worry about formatting much right now. We'll just focus more on completing this. So this is gross sales simulation, and I don't need the slider header. I'll just remove that so I can use the entire space. Values is fine. I'll just remove the background. Okay. So this is ready now. If I move it, it shows the value. Now, if I go, there would be this file created. I want this number to appear as percentages. Okay, I don't want it to appear as like this. So I made minus percentage, and since it is going to be in 1%, I don't really need the decimal. So what I did, I clicked on this gross sales simulation value. Okay, and then I changed its format to percentage, and then made the decimal as 0. Okay. I'll show you how to create the simulated value, but first let's create these variables. Everybody was able to follow? Okay, I'll repeat. So what we did was we went to modeling, we clicked on the parameter, okay? Then in the new parameter, only the value. Okay. Over here, see, it create on your right hand side, it would have created this section, gross sales simulation. Okay. I have clicked on the first one, gross sales simulation. Okay. And I have changed the format of it. So sorry, I clicked on the gross sale simulation value. Okay. And no, gross sale simulation. I've clicked on gross sale simulation and changed the format of it as percentage. So earlier it wasn't percentage, it was general. It was appearing like this. Okay. I made the format as percentage and reduce the decimals to 0. So you just click on it. This tab, the column tab would appear, column tools would appear, then change the format of it. Okay. So we created the gross sale simulation. Now we need to create the discount simulation as well. So again, I'll go to modeling tab. I will click on new parameter. I'll select the numeric range. The name of it would be discount percentage simulation. Again, data type, I'll use decimal number. I'll say 20%. Like you can reduce the discount as well, right? So let's say I'll say start with minus 20% or minus 0.2, and max discount you want to increase compared to the current one by is let's say 30%. So I'll say 0.3, and incremental would again be 0.01. So named as discount percentage simulation, again selected the data type as decimal number. You can reduce the discount which you are giving, so up to 20%, increase the discount up to 30% compared to the current, and incremental value is 0.01. Okay. Let me know once you guys are ready with this. Incremental value is Pankti, I'll show you. You will be only able to visualize it. So I'll show you, but for now, just make this. Incremental value is like what change you can bring in. Basically, if I do it 0.05, that means you can change this variable by 0.5%. So you can see the impact by 0.5% also. Right now, we have made incremental 1% means that you can test the simulation by 1% change. If I would have made it 5%, then you would have got an option for change the discount percentage by 5%, 10%, 15%. So it's basically what is the wavelength, or what is the steps by which you can make the change. So that's what incremental value means over here. And default again, I'll keep at 0. Everybody is able to do this, have reached over here, so I can click on create. Yeah. So I'll click on create. Our discount percentage simulation is there. I'll just copy paste the formatting so I don't have to format it again. Okay. And then I will just do the same thing for discount percentage also. I will change its format to percentage, reduce it by 0. Okay. So I got this one. Okay. So we are ready with the first part, the left part. Now we need to create the simulated figures. Okay. How to go to the column tools? Just click on it. Just click on this value where you want to change the format. Column tools would get activated on your own. Okay. Now we need the simulated value. What does it mean? That in case we say that gross sale, let's say, increased by 6%, the simulated gross sales should be 2.12 million. Okay. So what I can do is I can create a new measure. I will name it as simulated gross sales. And how would I get the value? It would be based on the actual gross sales that we have. Okay. Multiply by whatever is the change in the simulation value, right? So I can say 1 plus the gross sales simulation value, this one. Okay. Because let's say if you're saying increase by 6%, so what would happen? Gross sales multiply by 1.606, which would give us 2.12. If you are making a reduction, let's by 3%, so it would be 1 plus minus 3, which would make it 0.97%, 0.97, and this is how the revised gross sales would get calculated. Okay, so this is how the simulation function would work. I will copy it over here in the chat window so you guys are able to use it directly. Okay, and then I will, we have created that simulated gross value, and then I will just copy this card, and then I'll add the simulated gross value on this. I'll remove the gross sales and I'll add the simulated gross value. See, so it was actually 1.93, that's why 6% change is bringing it to 2.12. If I increase it by 13%, 2.23 million. Makes sense? This is how the simulated gross sales got calculated. I have added the formula also. You can add the formula and do it. Would it not be in the simulation percentage formula? I did not get your question, Pankti. So what we have done is in this simulated one, if you look at my formula, your actual gross sales multiply by this is the change in your change in the value, right? You are saying 13% over here means increase by 13%. So how to add the formula? I've created this measure. So you are saying add the formula, this particular simulated value, right, Shiva? So you need to create a measure. So what I did was you go to key sales measure, click on 3 dots, click on new measure. Okay. Once you have done that, use this particular formula that I have added. Okay. Once you do that, I'll add it in the chat window again. Use this formula. I created a measure which was named as simulated gross sales. The formula for it was gross sales, which is the current gross sales, multiplied by 1 plus the simulation value or the amount of change you have applied it over here. Okay. And then what I did was I created a new card and put this particular measure on top of this card. Okay, everybody was able to follow it till here? Yeah. Okay, so similarly now we'll do the same thing for the discount. Okay, so discount, this is the current discount percentage. So what would be the revised discount? I'll again do a new measure. So I'll create a new measure which gives me simulated discount value. Discount percentage, which is your current discount percentage, which you are giving, okay, plus the new the change in the discount percentage. So which is basically discount percentage simulation value. Okay. So if I use this, then I'll get the revised discount percentage. So if I do this plus, and we are saying we are reducing the discount by 5%, then ideally it should become 15.89, right? So let us see if this actually happens. So I go over here, okay, and then change this measure to a simulated discount percentage. I'll use the format. Yeah. So see, we are saying that we reduced the discount by 5%. So 10.89 became 5.89. If we say we are going to give additional 3% discount, then your 10.89 becomes 13.89, which makes sense, right? If we are giving additional discount, it is expected to increase the sale. So you can create a model where you say, okay, by giving extra discount, how much additional sales can be generated? Okay, and what would be the net sales after that? So what would be the formula for simulated net sales? It would be basically your simulated gross sales into less the simulated discount value, which will give me my simulated net sales, which would be the next formula or measure. I'll hold over here. You guys are able to follow it over till here, right? Okay. Yeah, I'll share the formula for this. So simulated discount. Let me share the formula in the chat window. Okay, so I've shared the formula. Now the final thing I want to do is the net sales, revised net sales. So how I would do that is I'll create another new measure. Okay, and it gives me simulated net sales, which is nothing but my simulated gross sales. Okay, into 1 minus whatever discount, simulated discount I've given. So 1 minus simulated discount percentage. Okay, this would give me my simulated net sales, and I will share this formula with all of you as well. And let me add this particular simulated net sales. So what it typically shows is that by giving 3% extra discount, if it increases my gross sale by 13%, I'm still able to increase my net sales. Now, assuming for sake of reducing the complexities, we have not added what would have been the revised unit cost, or does it lead to change in my costs of sales or not. Assuming if the gross margin remains the same, then typically you are able to make that additional profit on that 0.12 million. Okay. So this is the simulation factor, very useful for finance professionals. I would hold on over here in case you have any questions. Otherwise, then I want to show you the one last thing where we kind of add the detailed page or drill through options. Okay, I'll just hold here for a second in case any questions. Okay. Okay, let me do the one final thing now, and then I want to make few closing remarks. So I want to show you how do we create those drill through options. What I mean by drill through is this. So if I'm going to my summary screen, if I want to see transaction level, line item level data, I can right click and drill through and go to the detailed sales report, right? So I want to build something like that. So what I can do is I created a new page. I am calling it as detailed sales report. Okay, I will import the format or the canvas from the canvas background, the detailed sales breakthrough page. I'll do the same thing, normal fit, reduce the transparency fully, and then I want to create a sales report. So what I want in my sales report, I want a simple table. So I'll use a simple table over here. Okay. In the simple table, I want these few columns, which is basically, I want the customer name. So I'll go to the customer table. I'll say, okay, I need the customer to whom the sales was made. Then I want when was the sales made. So let's say month name. Okay. Then I want what was the value of the sales, or what was the gross sale value, what was the discount and gross margin. Okay, so I can ask for gross sale value, what was the discount given, and what was the gross sale margin on this particular one, and my net sales. Let's say I want this is the only information I want. Okay, for the sake of simplicity. Now, how does drill through works is, and then who was the let's say who was the customer, or who was the sales supervisor for it. So, or which region the sales was done, which state, and who was my supervisor. Okay. So these are few of the things that I want. And how does the drill through work is basically in this page, I can define that whenever any particular filter appears, I want the option of detailed one. So let's say if I manage my performance by state, region, and current supervisor. So I can say that keep the drill through options over here. So I can move my region over here. I can move my current supervisor over here. Okay, and I can also move. Did I move the current supervisor? Yeah, current supervisor over here. I can also move it to state. So once I've done that, that drill through at this level, then you would see wherever these three elements appear. Like say, for example, if I go to my cover page and the current supervisor is appearing, automatically drill through to the detailed report comes in. And what happens, it gives me filtered transactions. So for example, over here, Priyanka's net sales was 184,000. If I go and do a drill through in detailed sales report, it will give me the breakdown of that entire 184,000 transaction. Okay. So this is a very important feature, though very easy. So I created a new page. I created a table where all the information I wanted. The only thing I did was I went in the drill throughs and I added the particular filters on which I want the drill through to be activated. Okay. Uh, Fine. Was that clear? Okay. So now I think this was more or less what we wanted to cover. I wanted to leave you with a few from higher to lower. You can just do it like this also. You can just do, if I do like this, and it would show you higher to lower. You can sort it. Sort option is always available, Vishwanath. Okay, so now I want to leave you with few important parting thoughts. I'll go back to the slide uh, because this is very important. These two slides. I'll just take few minutes. I know it's a Friday, but I want to leave you with something very important. Okay. We started off with talking about that Power BI is primarily these three things, which is Power Query, which is used to connect to any data source and perform transformation. Then Power Pivot, which is used for data modeling, and then Power BI. Okay. Now, no matter how complicated or how easy a system is, okay, it is always like even if you look at Tally or even if you look at SAP, okay, or no matter how complicated the system is, they have the database storage layer, okay, for building from database storage, transform, and then you can upload it on a visualization tool, which can be Power BI or it can be Tableau or anything. Power BI is the only tool which allows you to manage the database, perform transformations in Power BI, as well as visualize. Okay. In Power BI would actually allow you to learn any specific applications or tools because none of the tools are typically end to end. This is one of the very few tools, and I can tell you when I started my analytics journey, Power BI was one of the first tools I would have learned. And the fundamental principles that you learn, which is the extraction, the data modeling, the DAX language, almost stays across everywhere. Okay, so this is something very important that I wanted to leave you with that parting thought. One final thing, which is on how do we publish the dashboards. So once like your dashboards are ready, you can just save it, okay? And then just click on publish. Once you click on publish, you will have your workspace. I can publish it on my workspace. Once it is published, you can share the link and to the users, it would appear like this, like you are seeing on my screen right now. I can full screen. So they would be able to see like this view report. For them, they don't look at the older way of doing this. They look at like this. They can right click on anything, go to drill through. So it almost looks like a web page. So yeah, so this was pretty much it from our side. I wanted to thank all of you for your time. I hope these four training sessions were helpful and you would learn and take away these learnings and keep on applying. We are always there to help you, support you, and I also wanted to thank the entire XCOM at ICA Dubai for providing us this opportunity. So thank you so much, and back to you, Amit bhai.
Thank you so much, Mahendra Bhai. Again, I will say, like yesterday, I said, like, once you are explaining, you are so patientful, you are taking care, your eyes are everywhere, your ears are listening, your eyes are in the chat box. So, but first of all, thank you so much for having these sessions in a wonderful way. And I'm sure that, all the members, I mean, you kept them engaged. They were asking the questions and being part of this journey. So I'm sure that all the members would be agree with me. And again, once again, a special thanks to um, your the who was assisting the Siddesh, and I think Bhavya was also assisting you today. So thank you so much, Bhavya, for being here with Mahendra Bhai, and for join the members who have joined on the day 3 and the day 4. I'm sure that you will also found the sessions valuable and felt included. I mean, you must be regretting that, you just joined in the day 3 and 4. But yes, nevertheless. So, and yes, as you said it right, thanks to the entire managing committee for being there and helping time to time. Like Dikshit Bhai has taken the lead for this Power BI session, and other the XCOM also. In one way or another, they are always helping. And again, I can see the smiling face of our one of the member. So the floor is open for everyone. I mean, I know it's like 8:30, it's a dinner time. Everyone is like exhausted after these things. But the one important thing here I want to mention that Mahendra Bhai has executed these sessions so perfectly. But again, the practice is the key. So please keep practicing for this Power BI sessions. That will, I mean, help whatever you have got in these sessions. That will help you to keep you in touch with this power. Thank you so much. Anybody, any members wants to say something, the floor is open for every member.
Thank you, Executive Committee, as well. Very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, executive team, and Mahendra ji, thank you so much.
Thank you, Darshan Bhai. Thank you, Darshan Bhai.
Thank you very much, executive members and the Mahendra Bhai. And please.
Thank you, sir. And again, once a small request that please, if you really found the sessions, useful, so please just write a small note in whichever WhatsApp group you are. This is not for us because we know that you as a members, you love the XCOM, you love the entire managing committee, but this is for the other members also. So in the next sessions, we can see the more members because this is 3,000 members and we are attending like 150 and all. So that would be encouraging for rest of the members. Manesh Bhai, you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you.
Please upload the video as I discussed yesterday.
Sure, sir. Definitely, we will share it to all the who have joined these sessions, but it will take little time. So please be patient with us.
No problem.
Yeah. This video will go to that editing, and then definitely we will be sharing it to all the registered members for the Power BI session. Don't worry for that. It will be taken care of.
Thank you, Mahendra ji. I think after ChatGPT, I'm continuing with you for learning Power BI too. Okay, and very interested, and we will be looking for this recorded video, which will be help us to try again. Okay, thank you, the XCOM and the Jayaprakash and Amit for arranging all these things. And we are expecting more sessions from your side. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Okay, sir. So with that note, Mahendra Bhai, any
I want to add something.
Yes, please. Go ahead, sir.
Sessions were excellent.
Yeah.
But what was even better was the way the sessions were structured and how easily it was explained. So
I
I have attended a few
completely
sessions,
agree
but
with
I
you,
have
sir.
to say, Mahendraji, the way you structured, because structuring something is very important, and that was the best part about this session, I think. All
Correct.
these sessions.
Thank you so
Because,
much.
sir, in the Power BI, you see the interactions and handling 150, 100 plus members at a time, taking care of their queries. It's not so easy. When like we initialized this session, also I was thinking like how it would be, but it is a very well structured and it went seamless, I would say.
Members who attended also, they were really patient, and so it always takes two hands to clap, and I think both hands did their job very well.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
Thank
So with that note, good night, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow on the International Yoga Day session in the evening. So please join in the maximum numbers. See you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Take care.
Sir, one question. Sorry.
Yes,
For
sir, please.
International Yoga Day, I hope we'll be doing some yoga sessions. So coat suit will not work, right?
I replied in the group also, Vishwanath sab, like the comfortable formals would be fine. Will be doing some like kind of the chair yoga, as well as it would be like informative session always about the wellness, about the lifestyles and all like that. So it's like an interactive the knowledge sharing session, as well as some yoga would be there. So yes, comfortable formal would be fine, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.